Hey guys, welcome to a very special video for me. This is my top 10 films for 2015. I can't believe that 2015 is already over. So many great movies came out last year, so I'm really excited to bring you this list. And keep in mind that these are the movies that meant the most to me. They're the ones that resonated, the ones that I enjoyed more than any other. So just because I may have given a film a higher score than another, doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be higher on the list. It also may be a very different list than what you would come up with. Film is subjective. That's one reason it's so great. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get right into it. My top 10 films for 2015. Coming in at number 10 on my list is Bridget Spies. I always get excited when a new Spielberg movie is coming out, and this film was no different. It is a fascinating Cold War thriller that once again brings Tom Hanks and Spielberg together. It has phenomenal performances all around, particularly from Tom Hanks and Mark Rylance. And although it's a slow burn movie, Spielberg's execution is flawless. Number 9 on my list goes to Creed, and man was this a pleasant surprise. I didn't even get to talk about this movie. I wanted to do a review for it, but I ended up getting sick that week and losing my voice, so I'm really excited to talk to you guys about it for just a minute. If you had told me at the beginning of last year that by the end of the year one of my favorite movies was going to be a Rocky spinoff, I probably would have called you crazy. I enjoy all the Rocky movies, but none of them are my favorite. So going into this movie, I was just blown away. It's so well made. Michael B. Jordan does a great job of picking up the mantle and carrying on this story, and Sylvester Stallone gives his best performance in years. I would really be surprised if this does not get him the Oscar. Also, a quick shout out to Ryan Coogler, the writer and director of this movie. He did a phenomenal job of resurrecting this franchise and probably made the best Rocky movie since the original in '76. Well done, sir. Number 8 on the list is going to go to Spotlight, and this is a film that really affected me on a personal level, being that I am a father of 2 children. Seeing these journalists uncover the scandal going on within the Catholic Church involving children just turned my stomach. This is a well-directed film by Tom McCarthy. The way that he juggles all these different elements and keeps the story very even all the way through and very well paced. That is a tough thing to do in a film. It's got a stellar ensemble cast with great performances, particularly by Michael Keaton and Mark Ruffalo. This movie has a very good chance of winning Best Picture this year, and I wouldn't be surprised or upset at all if it did, because it is a fantastic film. It's a must-see, so if you missed it in the movie theater, go check it out as soon as you possibly can. Number 7 on the list is a film that I've been highly anticipating ever since I saw the first photo for it about a year ago. I was like, wow, this movie is going to be incredible. And it was. This movie is, of course, The Revenant. This is without a doubt one of the most beautiful and yet brutal films I've ever seen. The amount of torture that the cast and the crew went through just to get it filmed is mind-blowing. And DiCaprio brings such a strong physical performance that goes well beyond words. I know for a fact that when I look back at 2015, this movie will be one of the most memorable movies for that year. Number 6 on my list is going to be number 1 for a lot of people. Star Wars: The Force Awakens is without a doubt a rousing success in every sense of the word. Not only did it do insane numbers at the box office, but J.J. Abrams actually managed to bring us back to a world that we've been missing for about 30 years. And while I have my issues with the film after seeing it 3 times now, I can't deny the fact that it does a great job of continuing the Star Wars saga. Not only does it pay great respect to the old characters like Han and Leia, but it brings us in great new characters like Rey, Finn, Poe, and of course Kylo Ren. I absolutely love the movie overall, and I can't wait to see where it goes next. Next on the list at number 5 is Mad Max Fury Road. This movie came out of nowhere and just blew me away. George Miller took on a monumental task of creating this movie that could have easily blown up in his face, but instead creates a visually stunning, pulse-pounding thriller, 2-hour car chase through the desert that's not just an action movie, but also creates a deep, layered world that doesn't need to be explained. It is visual storytelling at its finest, and the director's use of almost entirely practical effects pays off in spades in this case. I've gone back and watched this movie again and again. It holds up. It does not get old. Mad Max Fury Road is an action masterpiece. Number 4 goes to the epic western by Quentin Tarantino, The Hateful Eight. And boy, talk about anticipation when I heard that Tarantino was coming out with a 3-hour western murder mystery. Sign me up. I was so excited, and to me it doesn't disappoint. I know that some people had issues with this movie, but I think that for the most part it's being misunderstood. You have to understand that Tarantino was hearkening back to films from the 50s and the 60s when they were a much grander thing. A 3-hour movie was not a big deal back then, but at the same time he's injecting his signature wit and humor into the movie. This is largely a dark comedy. And then it's just such a well-made movie. It's got great, smart, tight dialogue as always, and great performances, particularly by Samuel L. Jackson and Walter Goggins. I can tell you for a fact after seeing this movie 3 times now, it is a movie that you will get a little more out of every time you see it. I tip my cap to you, Mr. Tarantino. Keep doing what you're doing. To me, you're making pure magic. Number 3 on the list goes to Steve Jobs, and to me, everything about this movie is absolute art. The divided 3-act structure, the walk and talk, fast Sorkin dialogue, the music, the editing, everything about this film blew me away. And I've always been a fan of Sorkin. I even enjoyed The Newsroom on HBO, but I do think that this is his best work yet. However, just as much credit should go to director Danny Boyle. He creates a vibrant, kinetic atmosphere. And don't even get me started on the performances. Michael Fassbender is incredible in this movie. If anyone was to steal the Oscar from DiCaprio this year, it would probably be him, and to be honest, I couldn't be mad if it happened. He is incredible. Number 2 on the list is probably, in my opinion, the biggest Oscar snub for 2015. Sicario is a film that really got under my skin. Director Denis Villeneuve coupled with cinematographer Roger Deakins create a subtly brutal look at the war against the Mexican cartels. And it shows the ugly truth of what both sides are capable of. Emily Blunt does a great job of being our entry point into this story, but who really shines here is Benicio del Toro. He does this thing similar to what Leo DiCaprio does in The Revenant, where he's this broken yet very deep layered character that doesn't have a whole lot of dialogue. I can guarantee you that after seeing this movie, it is a film that will haunt you long after it ends. Alright, we're finally to my number 1 film for 2015, and if you know me at all, then you probably heard me fawning over this movie, and that is Machina. No film this year has provoked more emotion in me. From awe and wonder to sickening dread, this film got under my skin and just lived there. And the reason that I love it so much and that it's number 1 on my list is that it's a simple premise, it's a smaller story, and yet it's the most deep layered premise of any of the films on my list. It is the whole concept of I think therefore I am, which has been done in other sci-fi classic movies, but never as well as in this version, in my opinion. Donald Gleason, Oscar Isaac, and Alicia Vikander all bring incredible performances to this subtle sci-fi story. I put this movie above all of the others on my list because even though it's a smaller, more subtle movie, I believe it's the most creatively free movie of all of the movies on my list. Free from studio interference, free from audience expectation, Alex Garland just went and wrote this incredible, thought-provoking script, and then him and his team went and created the movie that they wanted to make. And to me, that is my dream. I am an aspiring filmmaker, and much the way that Whiplash did in 2014, this movie motivates me to get up and pursue my dream. And this is the kind of movie that I want to make. And that's why it feels so personal to me, I think. And I know it's not for everyone. This movie is slow and psychological. And that's why it's so good. It's not caught up trying to please everyone. It's just the movie that it needs to be, that it should be. And that's why it's my favorite film for 2015. Thank you so much for watching, guys. You know, I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed my video, then please give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below with your thoughts. I'd love to hear your top 10 list for 2015. And if you want to see more videos like this, then please subscribe. I want to give a quick special thank you to all of the people that have been subscribing to me, who have been watching my videos. I hope you guys have been enjoying them. I love making them. That being said, I want to let you guys know that I'm going to be slowing down my content a little bit. I don't have time to devote as much as I would like to it. So I'm going to be a little more selective about the movies that I'm reviewing. I strive for quality on my videos, so I spend a lot of time on them, and I just don't have as much time as I would like to. So if you don't see as many videos from me, then I apologize, but that's all I'm going to have time to do. I'm probably going to limit myself to a couple per month. Again, thank you for watching. My name is Josh Wingard, and until next time, keep going to the theater, keep watching those movies. I'll see you.